Welcome everyone, let's get started with our color mixing. I have a little yellow here that I'm going to put. This one is lemon yellow. I'm going to add some of this raw sienna. I want to use the raw sienna for the inner part of the peach that is closer to the skin because it's a bit darker. The lemon yellow I'm going to use more for the outer part of the peach, which is really, really light. And when I say outer part of the peach, I really mean the part that you would typically bite into. So I think this was burnt sienna. The burnt sienna I'm going to use for the skin of the peach. Now to make the outest part of the skin of the peach, I needed something a little dark. So I'm going to take this kind of violet color and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of cobalt blue. I did end up with a color that I wasn't too happy with, but I don't like to waste, so I'm going to go ahead and make the best of it. I also decided to add a little bit of Chinese white to the lemon yellow. So we're going to start with blocking in our subject. I'm going to dip my paintbrush into a little bit of mineral spirits. I have some Sansador. I'm going to take a color of my choice and mix just a little bit until it's kind of runny. And I'm going to use that to create this vertical line. If you haven't watched my videos, I use these lines to help me orientate the shapes and the different forms that I'm going to paint. So blocking in your subject is just like making a sketch of the peaches that I want to paint or of the painting that I might expect. So again, it's making a sketch and using that sketch of a guide of the painting that you're expecting to paint. I'm going to take the darkest color that I have on my palette and I'm going to paint in the occlusion shadows here. The occlusion shadows right at the kind of where the tip of the outer skin meets that horizontal line. I do also paint the right hand side of the tip of each of the outer skin of the peaches with just a little bit of that dark color. To start my painting, I'm going to mix a little oil with that kind of darker sienna color. I think it was burnt sienna. I'm going to paint the small triangle shapes that are coming downward, which represent the outer skin of the peach. So here... I'm going to go in and paint the innermost, I don't know how you would describe this, but the part of the peach that's closest, the part of the flesh of the peach that is closest to the inside of the skin. And that would be that raw sienna. So this painting the peaches or peach slices can be quite tricky because there isn't one core value, and the relationship between light and the form of the objects, which is our peach slices, can be quite tricky. I think one of the things that would help is, especially for beginners, if you take a peach and just make some slices and format it in front of you. If you have some light, you can format it on some light. And it would be great if you can put it on a stage. If you can't, you work with what you got. That's all right. And kind of use those peaches as your guide. And it would help you because you could really see the relationship between the light and the peaches and how the color comes out. So there will be differences in the local color of the peaches based on the light. So in this painting, there are very subtle shifts in the value and the temperature of the colors. So you really have to pay attention in order to make the illusion of the peach come to life. So as I'm painting, I'm just making comparisons with the different color tones that are coming up and kind of taking my time to make observations and decide if this is coming to life as an actual peach slice. So I took a little bit of that lighter lemon yellow and was going in at the base or the tip of the peach slices. Just remember to leave a little room at the top because I'm going to mix some lemon yellow with white and I'm going to put it at kind of like an outline of the peach slice on the top. So here's that mixture of the lemon yellow with the Chinese white. I'm going to use that on and kind of paint it as an outline. For some of the peaches, I'm going to paint it on the outermost corners and bring it around to create that relationship and the illusion of a peach. So here I want to check my values. I'm going to use some of the colors I already have left on my palette. I'm going to mix half of it with white. The half that is mixed with white will be for my foreground color. The darker shade of it will be for my background color. I'm putting it down now because having a color to compare the form of the peach slices to will help me to see if my illusion is coming to life correctly and if I like the relationship between the color values. So I'm going to go ahead and put in that background color. I'm going to do the cast shadow. I'm going to take that burnt sienna. I mix it in with a little bit of violet to do that cast shadow. And I'm going to take the lighter yellow mixture, which is the lemon yellow. I did mix it a little bit with the raw sienna to do the inner parts of the shadow, or the lighter parts of the shadow. Lastly, I thought I could use some blending, so I took a fan brush and I'm gonna lightly blend certain areas. Now, if you're doing this like me while your painting is still wet, remember to wash the brush off or to just wipe off the color so that you don't get a mishmash of colors on your painting when you're all done. I thought the blending would kind of make the painting come alive a little bit, and the merging of colors could make it look more realistic. Here's our finished product. I hope you enjoyed.